Welcome to In the Huddle with Jon Ritchie. I'm Sam Stafford. Let's get right into it as usual. Jon, when we talked last week, it was right before the trade deadline after the Robert Quinn move. And you said that you wouldn't be surprised if they were going to look at running backs. There were rumors that Howie was making the calls, but nothing got done. How do you feel about the Birds sitting idle after that Robert Quinn trade?
Well, I felt like Howie felt the need to add a running back. I am a Kenny Gainwell fan. I know he hasn't been as productive as expected this year, and he had a down training camp. But the fact that we were in on the Christian McCaffrey thing, supposedly, I've gotten to the point where I just sort of like I believe Howie knows. And so the fact that he was looking, maybe that just had to do with the fact that Christian McCaffrey really is that good, and not so much that we needed the position. But I was excited about the possibility of guys like Kareem Hunt or Naeem Hines because they are multifaceted backs who could add to any offense. But I think Howie knows best, truly, and the fact that we didn't add anyone, we are opting to keep all the draft capital in place and continue to add to our team in a different fashion next year. The bottom line is, I'm thrilled with the Robert Quinn acquisition, and I think our defensive line got a lot better as a result. I was also thinking maybe we might add at the D tackle position because of the Jordan Davis injury.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly how long he'll be out. They certainly know better than we do. But we still have four D tackles that they seem to trust, with Tuipulotu playing a bigger role this year and actually looking pretty good in that. So I guess they decided to stand pat and they feel good about it. So I got to feel good about that too.
Yeah, we mentioned last week. I mean, this team is very good, obviously, right now with the roster that they have. So it does make sense. Don't get rid of your future of improving this team for minor things, in that case for Howie. But we normally do our Thursday night football picks. Tonight, it just so happens that the Eagles are the Thursday night game. They're in Houston for this game tonight. What do you think about it? Is there any way that this isn't an absolute blowout?
Uh, yeah, this Houston team is probably the worst team in the NFL, but it's still the NFL, and they're going to score late, if anything. Now, I don't expect them to be able to hang with us because we always seem to show up and we're always prepared, and we haven't seen flagging enthusiasm or preparedness to any degree this season. I think we're going to jump all over this team because we are so much more talented than they are. And there's a good chance that our starters are resting by the end of the game at some point, late third quarter, early fourth quarter, where, Davis Mills, this quarterback, this second year quarterback that they have, he's pretty good. And even though they don't have Brandon Cooks to throw it to, they have some options, some weapons. They have a really good running back in Dameon Pierce who is productive. And we have not been great at stopping the run at times. We're 29th in the NFL in terms of yards per carry allowed. So we will win this game. I truly believe that. But in the NFL, if you turn the ball over, which we normally don't do, that always gives the other side a chance. And I do think that they can score late against guys who are running down and covering kicks, against our secondary, who will be backup cornerbacks and backup safeties who are doing a lot of other stuff. And they could be at that point, tongues hanging out, just needing a break, and they won't get one because they got to play. So I could see this game ending up being a lot closer than people expect, but I do not expect the Eagles to lose.
I love it. Jon, I don't know if you saw it, but before we wrap up, Jason and Travis Kelsey have this new podcast now called New Heights. And recently they just talked about how their styles are completely different pregame. Travis is super fancy, Jason's super laid back. I have to know, if you played in the NFL nowadays, what kind of style would you have pregame getting out of your car? I know you're a Lululemon guy. Would you go
I do.
athleisure?
I do love the Lululemon pants. No, I I would wear probably the same thing every week as long as it passed the muster. Like the requirement for us when we were playing was a collared shirt, and I probably wore the same collared shirt every week with a pair of jeans and stuck my toothbrush in my front pocket. That was the extent of how dressed up I wanted to get. I didn't want to be worrying about that stuff. Am not a fashion plate, and I don't have luggage. I might have a backpack to throw some stuff in. Uh, it's like at times it can be like a contest in an NFL locker room where guys
Oh
they've
yeah.
a different colored suit with matching hat every week, and I could never pull all that off. So I just stuck to a flannel and some jeans.
That's what I expected you to say. I would be the same way though. Focus on the game. Don't worry about that stuff. I think that would stress me out more than the game itself.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want any outside pressure. I don't want to have to think about anything more than my playbook. That's it.
I love it. That's all we have for In the Huddle with Jon Ritchie for week 9 of the NFL season. You can listen to John for now, Monday through Friday on WIP from 10 to 2. And make sure, as always, you go to check out the Bet Park social medias and download the app. We'll huddle again next week.